What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, the Second Son, and I'm back with another video in a while. It's been a while since I done made a video. Right now, I'm on the highway. I'm driving around. I'm still in my Acura IL, but this ain't even about my Acura IL. This video is not about to be about cars or anything of that nature. I'm really here to talk some truth. I feel like it's time for everybody to really wake up. I don't think people really understand what's going on in this world because it's too many distractions to take the time to understand. But I want to start out by introducing myself again as the Second Son. Now, the reason I am the Second Son is because obviously I'm a junior. I got the same name as my dad, but that's not the only reason. I call myself the Second Son because I feel like being the Second Son is special. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm gonna kind of explain it a little different. So let's say if you're a father, right? And you had to do a lot of bad things, or you had to struggle, or life was pretty tough for you, growing up, and you had to learn the hard way to do things, to become successful, however you want to put it. When you have a child, you're going to make sure that that child does not have to go through the same things you went through in order to be where you at. As a matter of fact, you're going to want your child to be more successful. That's just any parent. They're going to want their child to be more successful than them. So with that being said, if you succeed at making sure your child does not turn out the same way as you, your child is basically going to be more advanced than you are at a younger age. So they're going to be basically where, let's say, you didn't start maturing, you didn't get out the streets until you was like 35. You ain't, you wasn't doing nothing but staying in the streets selling dope or, scamming or whatever it is, you ain't stopped doing that until you was 35. You finally give up. You like, man, I'm too old for this. I need to mature. I need to do more. You know what I'm saying? I need to build my credit, because a lot of people don't. A lot of grown folks, they barely got anything in their savings account. You know what I'm saying? They still got the spending value of a child. You know what I'm saying? And so if you have your child, if you teach your child to not do what you've done at an earlier age, they're going to become more advanced. And the reason I'm saying this, because I am that child. And with that being said, I don't basically, let's just use an example. I'm 22, right? Let's just say my dad is 35. You know what I'm saying? I'm just using the example. I got about 13 years ahead of him of knowledge, basically, because I'm doing what he wanted me to do at an earlier age, so I wouldn't turn out the same way as him, right? So with that right there is, now I can use more of my head towards other things rather than following the exact same footsteps that he went through. So let's say if he didn't teach me nothing, I would basically grow up to learn in the same form and matter that he did, and I basically it won't be no improvement. But with him teaching me at a young age what not to do and what to do, and how to make sure you have good credit, and how to make sure that you prepare yourself to be financially stable when you get out here in the world and you have your own place. Like, he taught me this at a young age. So with that, it's like, when I get that down pat, I can start using my mind towards other things that he may not was using his mind towards. So that's the reason why I'm the Second Son, because that son, when you finally have a son, you may be the first son from your dad, but then once you have a son, that's basically considered the Second Son. So you want to make sure that your son is going to be more advanced than you were. And so with that being said, I've started to realize a lot of things at a young age that my parents may not have been able to, because they didn't get that same type of treatment when they was young. So one thing I noticed I'm gonna start off with school, because a lot of people, you know, it's time to wake up for real, and a lot of people don't really get what that means, you know. So I'm gonna just try to use simple examples, right? So as a kid, you were taught to go to school to learn, right? Now, first thing first, as a kid, I don't think anyone as a child cared about going to school. You know, I don't think no one as a child was happy, like, yay, I'm going to school. Yay, I'm ready to learn. Like, that was forced upon you. Let me tell you, all this school is forced upon you. Now, I'm about to explain what I mean by that. When you go to school, first of all, your parents is the ones who tell you to go to school. You have no option. And if the parents don't tell you, guess what? They get locked up, right? For whatever reason, I don't really know all the way in depth of that, but I know that your parents can get locked up for you not going to school. So once you in school, right, you are taught to learn math the way you need to learn math. Now, I'm gonna use math as an example. You can find a different way to solve a problem, but if the teacher did not teach you that way, then it's considered incorrect. Let me say that again. You can solve a problem in your own way, and if the teacher didn't teach you that way, it's considered incorrect. And you can apply that to life in general. If you do not follow the rules, you will fail in life. If you do not follow the rules, you cannot keep your job. You know what I'm saying? You cannot do a lot of things if you just don't follow the rules. You know what I'm saying? If you don't follow the rules, whether you're driving, whatever it is, if you're not following the rules while you're driving, you can consider yourself getting a ticket. You know what I'm saying? If you don't follow the rules in school, you can consider yourself failing. And so back to school is, you taught these things, but you're never really able to learn what you want to learn. You know, everything is forced upon you to learn. So when you get to an older age, you thinking that you want to be this doctor or you want to be a lawyer, right? Because these are the same things that you was taught in school. You are taught to wonder what you want to be in life rather than just wanting to be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to explain this in a simple form because my mind is kind of racing because there's so much information that I just that I just found out within these past, 2 years, that really, it kind of makes it hard for me to just stay on one topic. But school is the foundation of brainwashing. That's what I'm basically trying to say. School is the foundation of brainwashing, right? So you go to school, right? Everything that you've been taught is to work. Work, work, work. You go to school, first of all, when you go to school, you're waking up early in the morning, right? You wake up early in the morning, tired, going to school, learning, the math and the history and the science and whatever it is. And you're taught to do your work. You are taught to work. And guess what? If you're not working, you fail. You fail that class or whatever class you in that you're not working, you fail. Guess what the teachers tell you when you don't want to work in class? You will not be anything in life. Why is it that you will not be anything in life if you don't work in class? Oh, it's because once you get done with school, you are forced to get a job. This is the reason why back in school they tell you what you want to be in life, because it's manipulating you into wanting to work for something, work to be a doctor, work to be a basketball player, whatever it is to work, not to own. They're not teaching you how to own anything. They're teaching you how to work. And so if you pay attention to it, it's like, okay, You get up early in the morning. Let's say, now let's look past school, right? You get up in the morning to go to work. Let's say you work, a first shift job. You get up at, you got to be to work at 6, get off at 2:30, or you get up at 9, 5, whatever it is you work. You get up, right? The same way you get up for school. I'm telling you, it's really like on some, it's training you to be a worker. You get up for your job every day, the same way you do at school. You get up for your job every day. You go to your job, you work the whole time, you know what I'm saying? And guess what happens if you're not working at work? You know what I'm saying? You potentially get fired out here. You're getting fired out here. If you're not working, that's just plain and simple. If you're not working, you're getting fired out here. So, and this is you do this every day. So you never really have the time to really figure out what the hell, who is you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you besides what you've been taught in school, and besides what they teach you can be in life? What are you? You know what I'm saying? That's the big question. And it's so many distractions in this world, you never really get to really know yourself. It's gonna take a lot more time for you to make time to know yourself without having to continue to work, or without having you going to school, because after you graduate, you may be going to college after that. College is where you finally be able to choose what you want to learn. You know what I'm saying? Versus being back in high school or middle school, you forced all of this, right? So there's never really no time for you to really get to know yourself, to really sit back and just watch the world. Watch look how we living. You know what I'm saying? You don't have that much time. And you were taught to work. It's crazy to me, and I use examples based off what I've been through, because I know as a child I did not want to go to school. My whole journey through school, I did not like school. Why? Because I knew it was forced upon me. And I never changed my mindset, because if you watching this video, you here for a reason, okay? You are the chosen one. You are the chosen one. You know what I'm saying? If you that same kid who went to school and you had questions, certain questions that can't be answered, and you stay and them questions stuck with you, you're the chosen one. If you feel like the way we living isn't the correct way to be living, you're the chosen one. If you feel like we shouldn't be having to work, you're the chosen one. I mean, because you really shouldn't be having to do none of this. Isn't it crazy? Like, people will find certain things believable, but other things not believable. And it's like, if you really just pay attention to life, and you take little things, it's the little things that add up into the big things, right? Something as little as us having to pay to drink water. I mean, think about that. In school, they get these folks was giving us pizza and milk for lunch. But guess what you had to do to get that water bottle? You had to pay for that. You had to pay for that water bottle, but you can drink some milk and some pizza for free. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy. Just think about that. You have to pay to drink water. You have to pay to eat food, right? And I know some people can say, well, learn to grow your crops and learn to do this. They don't teach you how to own. That's the thing I'm getting to. When you in school, you are not taught to own anything. You are taught to work for everything. You are taught to work for that check. You are taught to work for the clothes you want, that car you want, the phone you want, the PlayStation you want. You are taught to work for those things. You're not taught how to build them up, how to build things. You're taught how to work for things. And so it creates this system of relying on these people. You know, I can't put a certain name on it, because it's I'm gonna just say these people. You are controlled to rely on these people to feed you, to give you that check, to do a lot of things. Basically everything you can think of in life that you have to do, that you need in life, you relying on them to do so. You know what I'm saying? You relying on them for transportation. You relying on them for everything. And so it's so many examples and things that I can point out. But I just want this to be the first video of me really, trying to get people to understand that life, the way we live life, we were taught, we were manipulated, we basically brainwashed to live the way we live. A lot of people think that the way of life, this is just the way of life, which I doubt it. And one thing that gets to me is my parents or my grandparents telling me, you need to work, you need a job, you need when the times where I was staying with my parents and I may come home, complaining about how, work went and how, the manager kind of got slick off at the mouth or in things of that nature, they would tell me that's just the way of life. And so it hit me hard, like, why is it that? Why is this the way of life? Why do I have to deal with somebody's attitude in order for me to be financially free? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I have to listen to this person in order for me to get a check? Why can't I be that person giving out checks? Why can't we all depend on ourselves? You know what I'm saying? Why do we all have to work? I guarantee you, most of us are working jobs. Most of us are in the same shoes. Most of us are in the same shoes. That little percent that's not in the same shoes as us, they're owning. They at the top of the food chain. You know what I'm saying? They're controlling everything. Like, it's so many examples that is so controlling that it's really crazy. Like, the stuff that's going on in this world, it was planned out way ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? Everything was planned out ahead of time. These people that's in control, they have this planned out ahead of time to where it's gonna take a lot for people to change the way we live in, because we are all taught from kids that this is how we have to live life. You grow up, when you get to a certain age, you start going to school. After you graduate from elementary, you go on into middle school. After you graduate from middle school, you go on into high school. After high school, you either going to college or you working a job. But all those years before that is teaching you to work. And that's basically what I'm trying to prove in this video, that we are brainwashed to work. You know what I'm saying? And so once you realize that that's what's going on, you will really start to see more than just that. It's more to it. But I think I'm gonna end this video off that. I think I'm gonna end this video off that. So, last thing I want to say is, if you have time throughout your day, don't do the normal thing that you do. You get out of school, don't just be so quick to hop on the game. You know what I'm saying? Don't be so quick to put your mind towards the thing they want us to be distracted by. Take the time to look up information. Take the time. If you got any questions, the time is now. You got Google. You know what I'm saying? Now, everything, they may not expose everything on Google, but certain questions will lead you to other things, and that's the same thing I done did. I also realized a lot of our history that we were taught is a lie. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know that, then you really need to start doing your research. I'm telling you, when we go to school, the only thing that they teach us is what they want us to know, okay? They only teach us what they want us to know. They only teach us the things that will make us successful in working a job. You get what I'm saying? Just a small example is algebra. In what day-to-day life is you living in order for you to have to use algebra every day? You know what I'm saying? All this advanced math. When do you need to use it? Why are we being taught this? Oh, it's because if you want to be that astronaut or you want to be that great scientist, these are the things that you have to learn. These are the things that you have to learn in order to be that great worker that you want to be. You know what I'm saying? It's not for your day-to-day life. If you want to know what would be great for your day-to-day life, it's not being taught in school. You want to know how to grow your own food, that's not being taught in school. You want to know how to own a business rather than having to work for one? That's not being taught in school. I mean, just look at how, I'm at 20 minutes now. I'm about to end this video. But just look at how, I'm going to just use a small example. McDonald's or any fast food, right? They paying what, minimum wage? I think minimum wage now is $12 at McDonald's. I'm not sure. It was $8.50, whatever it was. Just look at how you work. You be that worker in that restaurant making things happen, right? While the person who own it is making 20 times what you making. Why is it that I'm the one actually making this shit happen and you making the money off me? You can use that example for everything in life. Everything. I'm telling you, this world is controlled by a few amount of people. Just to let you know, we outnumber them. You know what I'm saying? It's controlled by a few amount of people. And it's time for us to break out of this cycle. It's time for us to really wake up. I'm here to spread the message. I have knowledge that I feel like I need to speak to people. You know, I see other YouTubers doing the same, so I want to add to the collection. I need people to wake up. Stop being so little-minded. Stop thinking inside the box. Question why it's even a box in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Why is it a box in the first place? Question that. You know? Stop thinking inside the box. This is the Second Son, and I'm signing out. Peace.